Thank you and welcome to the show for the day. The topic is the Hispanic population in Tennessee, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the Hispanic population in Tennessee, Mr. PTellez. Mr. PTellez is a Hispanic volunteer, a community volunteer, and of course, Mr. PTellez, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you, Doctor.
You know, Mr. PTellez, I think that it's very, very important, the topic that we're dealing with this morning, the Hispanic population in the state of Tennessee. I think it has been admitted by many authorities that that population is really on an increase. And what we'd like to do today is to look at that population, to give you an opportunity as a community volunteer, as a spokesperson in a real sense, to give you an opportunity to talk about that population. But before we do that, let's have you, Mr. PTellez, to talk about PTellez, to give us some information about your background, your education, your experiences, and some of the things that eventually put you in a position to be able to deal with the Hispanic population in the state of Tennessee.
Well, I guess we can go back to where I was born and so on. I was born in a little town called Mesilla, New Mexico, just south of Las Cruces, about 40 miles west of El Paso, 1933. And I was right in the middle of the Depression. I was raised in El Paso. And after graduating from high school, I joined the Air Force and wound up in Germany for 3 years, and came back from Germany. I got a job with Border Patrol. I was a radio operator with the Air Force, so I got the same kind of job with the Border Patrol, and then from there I transferred into the CAA, which is a forerunner of the Federal Aviation Administration, and I worked my way up from the ground up to manager of a large facility. I was retired as a GS-15 after about 40 years of service, and including my Air Force service, which is 4 years. And during that time I had an opportunity to live in different cities, because in order to get ahead I had to bid on jobs for promotions. So my first one was to Deming, New Mexico, and I stayed there for about a year and a half. Then I went to Dallas, Texas for about 5 years, and from there I went to Shreveport, Louisiana, and then finally to San Diego for the last 3 years. And then that's when my 40 years was up, and I was 58, and I figured I'd had enough, so time to get out of there. So my kids had gradually moved to Tennessee from the ones that were left in Louisiana when I left Louisiana. And so I decided I wanted to come to Tennessee and be close to my kids and my grandchildren. I had one in Iowa and 3 here, so it's easier to come here. And after I'd been here a little while, I was retired. My wife was still working, so I was a house husband there for a while, and I got to do a lot of exercise and walking around. And one day they had a large number of Cubans coming in from Cuba, refugees, and they needed some help with somebody who's bilingual. I grew up bilingual. I forgot to mention that. We had Spanish at home and English, of course. So I grew up speaking both languages. I don't remember when I didn't speak both languages. And so I moved here, and they asked for volunteers to help relocate the Cuban refugees. So that was a pretty busy time. I volunteered to work with the USCC, and occasionally I'd run into people from other agencies that were sponsoring refugees, and I'd work with them. So I got to know quite a few of the Cubans here, and although there were more Hispanics moving into Tennessee at the time, there were very few of them that I've noticed at the time. It was about 8 years ago. There were more and more Hispanics come in, and I've noticed that the population was growing, and then there was a lot of questions, and I got involved with most of the population, because we have people here from all the Latin countries, and Central, South America, the Caribbean, and even from Spain. But the population just grew so fast that it's kind of hard to keep up with them and what they were doing. There's a large demand for Hispanics among the business people and the construction industry and the restaurant industry, because they seem to be pretty reliable and work hard and don't complain very much. And majority of them are here to work, and so I got interested in doing that. And at the same time I got involved with the church more, because I had a little more freedom, and so I worked with St. Edward's Catholic Church, and so my pastor there is real good at getting people to go to work, so he gave me several assignments. So I've been busy with that quite a bit. And gradually, as the people in Nashville got more and more interested in the Hispanic population,